She told me, "Get me a $3,000 bag or we're done," on my birthday. So I gifted her the box with a breakup letter inside. I turned 34 last month, and all I wanted was a chill evening with the people I care about. No drama, just a rooftop lounge in Manhattan, live jazz, some steak bites, cocktails, and the skyline. I'd been planning it for weeks, sent out the invites, reserved the space, even coordinated with a bar to serve a couple of custom drinks with dumb names like Jake's Manhattan and the Vanessa for fun. Most of my close friends made it. A few people I work with showed up too. Everyone seemed in a good mood, catching up, complimenting the view, trying the drinks. I was bouncing between groups, playing host, but still soaking it all in. It felt good, like I had my life together for once. Vanessa arrived 40 minutes late. No text, just strolled in, heels clicking, glued to her phone, air-kissed me on the cheek like we were acquaintances. I shrugged it off. That was kind of her thing. Always late, always scrolling, always a little detached. I'd gotten used to it, even though lately it started to feel more like disrespect than just how she is. We sat together through dinner, but the conversation barely sparked. She was distracted, bored even. Every few minutes, she'd lean back, scroll Instagram. I didn't want to make a scene. It was still my birthday, so I smiled through it. Tried to stay present. Then came dessert. Midway through eating a slice of the cake someone surprised me with, Vanessa leaned over and said, "You are getting me that Saint Laurent bag for my birthday, right?" I thought she was joking. I actually laughed and said, "That bag's like $3,000. We just moved into a new place." She didn't laugh back. "I'm serious. You're doing well. And my birthday's next week. If you can't give me what I want, maybe we need to rethink things." It wasn't a whisper. She said it like we were alone. But we weren't. I blinked and leaned back in my chair, trying to process. "Wait, are you giving me an ultimatum? On my birthday?" She took a sip of wine. Cool as ever. All my friends have real boyfriends who buy them things they deserve. I'm not asking for a car. It's a handbag. I glanced across the table and caught Kyle's eye, my closest friend. His expression said it all. "Dude, seriously?" Still, I didn't want to make a scene. I just nodded and said, "All right." She smiled like she'd won a prize. The rest of the night, I played along. Cut the cake. Took some group photos. Let her kiss me on the cheek again for her Instagram story, where she wrote, "Happy birthday to my love." But inside, I'd already checked out. Something clicked into place, not in an angry way, more like a light bulb moment. This wasn't about a bag. It was about what we'd become. She saw me as a provider, not a partner. Her affection came with price tags. And when I thought about it, I realized how long I'd been trying to convince myself that this was normal. So I made a plan. Not to fight, not to argue, but to end it in a way that she couldn't twist or manipulate. A way that would speak her language, labels, packaging, and appearances. The next day, I went shopping. The next morning, I went down to a resale shop in Soho that specializes in designer packaging. Didn't even need to explain myself. The guy behind the counter handed me a Saint Laurent shopping bag and a sturdy, matching box for $20. He thought I was trying to fake a gift for resale value. I just nodded and took it home. I sat at my desk, stared at the empty box, and opened a blank document. I wanted the message to be clear, firm, and calm. No insults. No low blows. Just honesty, written the same way she had spoken her ultimatum, in plain, direct terms. I typed, "Vanessa, you're right. You deserve someone who sees luxury items as love. And I deserve someone who doesn't issue ultimatums in front of my friends, on my birthday, no less. So here's your gift, a luxury handbag box. It represents exactly what this relationship has become. Empty, overpriced, and all about appearances. We're done. Jake." I folded the letter and placed it neatly inside the box. Then I added some tissue paper like they do at the actual store. Closed it, slid it into the bag, and even tied a red ribbon on top. It looked real. Convincing. If someone handed it to you blind, you'd think it was a luxury gift worth 4 figures. That evening, I texted Vanessa and said, "Hey, I know your birthday's coming up. I got something for you. Want to meet tomorrow?" She responded within a minute. "OMG, yes. Can't wait." We met at a little cafe she liked on the Upper West Side. It was cold out, so we sat inside by the window. I ordered coffee. She ordered a matcha latte and barely sipped it, too busy eyeing the shopping bag on the chair next to me. When I finally handed it to her, her eyes lit up. That moment, her excitement, was so genuine, it almost made me hesitate. Almost. But then I remembered her words, her tone, her complete disregard for what should have been my night. She untied the bow carefully, like it was something sacred. "Jake, you didn't have to. I thought you said." "Open it," I said softly. She lifted the lid. Tissue paper. Then the envelope. She opened the letter, and I watched her face shift, confusion, disbelief, then something like irritation. She looked up. You've got to be kidding me. Nope. You're seriously breaking up with me over a bag? I kept my voice steady. No, I'm breaking up with you over the ultimatum. The bag just gave me the perfect way to say it. She stared at me like I'd slapped her. For a few seconds, she didn't say anything. Then, still holding the box, she shook her head slowly. Wow, this is so petty, Jake. You planned this whole thing? Just to embarrass me? No, I planned this so I wouldn't have to keep pretending this relationship still made sense. She stood up abruptly, knocking her chair into the wall behind her. A couple at the next table turned their heads. You think you're so clever, she said. Everyone's going to know what kind of man you really are. She shoved the box at me and walked out. I didn't chase her. I just sat there for a few minutes, sipping my coffee. I wasn't angry. I wasn't relieved. I just felt done. 2 hours after the cafe blow up, Vanessa's Instagram lit up. She posted a selfie, face full of tears, mascara smudged, captioned, "Ladies, beware of men who pretend to be providers but act broke when it matters. I got dumped over a handbag. Yes, really. #boymath. Then came the story rant. I gave him everything. And he couldn't even get me a birthday gift without turning it into a breakup stunt. Men really don't know how to handle a boss woman. It didn't bother me. I knew what she was doing, trying to control the narrative before I had the chance. Let everyone believe I was some petty, bitter man who snapped because his girlfriend wanted a nice bag. What she didn't expect. Kyle. He had filmed a short video from my birthday dinner. Nothing staged, just a quick clip of everyone singing, people laughing, and Vanessa, mid-sip, saying clearly, "If you can't get me that Saint Laurent bag, maybe we need to rethink things." He posted it to his story with the caption, "This aged like milk woozy face #ultimatum birthday." People connected the dots fast. A few folks from the party reposted the clip, chiming in with their own takes. Within 48 hours, it hit Reddit. Top comment on one thread, "She gave him an ultimatum while eating the man's birthday cake." LMAO. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't hers anymore. Vanessa tried to save face. She made a TikTok Storytime video where she cried, claimed I manipulated the footage, that it was taken out of context, and that I had deep insecurity issues. But people had receipts. Literally. Someone reposted screenshots from her earlier Instagram post and her TikTok, side by side with the video. The comments weren't kind. A week passed. Then 2. No texts. No calls. I figured that was the end of it. But 3 weeks after the breakup, I got a message. "I miss you. I didn't mean it like that. Can we talk?" I didn't reply. The next day, she followed up. "You meant so much to me, Jake. I was just frustrated and wanted to feel appreciated." Still nothing from me. It wasn't about holding a grudge. I just didn't have anything left to say. I'd already said it in that letter. Then, through a mutual friend, I found out something interesting. Her lease was ending, and she couldn't afford her half of the rent anymore. Turns out I'd been covering more of our shared expenses than I realized, and now that safety net was gone. Her Instagram went quiet for a while. Then she popped back up a few weeks later, smiling behind a retail counter at a department store, selling designer handbags. Yeah, the irony hit me too. It's not that I wanted her to fall apart. I wasn't hoping for karma to land like that. But it did give me closure in a strange way. Not because she lost and I won, but because I could finally see how far I'd drifted from myself while trying to maintain a relationship built on image and expectations. I'm dating someone new now. We met through a friend. She's grounded. Funny in a dry, sarcastic way. For my birthday this year, she gave me a handmade card, split a bottle of wine with me, and insisted on covering her half of dinner. When I told her the whole Saint Laurent story, she burst out laughing and said, "I would have kept the box as a trophy." I did. It's sitting on a shelf in my closet, empty, just like the relationship it came from. Best $20 I ever spent. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.